everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. Today's video I'm going to be showing you the makeup I'm doing for my Halloween costume, which is pretty basic. So I'm wearing this t-shirt. This is a Sheikah symbol from the Zelda video game series by Nintendo. I'm going to be doing a particular makeup style based on a character called Impa. I'm specifically doing the makeup from Hyrule Warriors, which looks like this. So the main thing about this look is it's got a very pronounced cat eye going on, and then one side we've got the curl up. There's going to be red and orange shadow going underneath the lid as well as on top, and then we have the pattern. So the pattern is technically on the left side of the face, so I'm going to be putting it on the left side of my face. I'm going to be using sort of a variety of things in order to make that. I don't have a good orange pencil, so what I'm going to use is a white pencil and go on top with eyeshadow. That way I'm going to get a very definitive look, and it's going to not blend into my skin tone. I've got a couple palettes I'm going to start with, because what I want to do is I want to put that orange base layer on before I try to put the black eyeliner on top, so I'm just going to be doing around my eyes. So I pulled out my Violet Voss Flamingo palette, because I have definitely a couple of good orange shades in here, and I've also pulled out my Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions, because there's an excellent orange in this palette as well, as in addition to having this red. I feel like the two of these together is probably going to give me the shade I'm looking for. So first up, I'm going to take the Huda Beauty, I'm going to go with that orange shade, and I'm going to take that across my lid. So I've sort of just put like a base layer here, and I also want to see if I start layering this shadow underneath my eye, how well that's going to look. Because I know if I mess something up, I can always cover it up with the black eyeliner, but I would like that red is supposed to sort of be peeking out underneath it. I feel like if I try to put that on top of the black liner, I'm going to make the liner look not as definitive and defined, and that's what I'm going for. I'm going to go over it next with the red, but with a lighter hand, because I don't want it to get too intense. I want this to sort of be diffused. I'm finding that the shadow in the picture is more like a burnt orange sort of situation, so I sort of have to mix these together in order to get the color I'm looking for. Because I don't really have anything that's exactly this shade in any palette. I don't use burnt orange shadow nearly that often, so it's not necessary to have that kind of color, but it can be fun sometimes. And again, now that the red is on top, it's a little bit there's too much of a blue undertone to it. I want to tone that down a little. So I'm actually now going to go into the Violet Voss palette. This is the Flamingo palette, and I think I'm going to go over top of this a little bit with Sandals. It's almost even like pink, and that's not the red that this needs to be. It's a nice red, don't get me wrong, but it is not the red I want for this. So next I'm going in with my Sephora Colorful Shadow and Liner Crayon. This is in the white shade. I'm sure it has a name. 32 Let It Snow. I'm going to now draw the pattern that I want on my head. So very carefully. So that's the triangle pattern that goes above the eye and then below it, and then the little triangles here. So this goes fairly far up on the forehead, but it's sort of centered around the actual eye. So the pencil's a little bit unwieldy. This is basically just going to give me some outline stuff. So I'm using a Sephora brush. This is a winged smoky brush and an eyeliner brush. So I'm going to use the winged smoky side to sort of pat the eyeshadow onto the white and get the color I'm looking for. Again, I'm going to start with the orange in the Huda palette, but just like very gently, and just tap that onto it. So this character, the reason I like her so much, she's sort of like a very strong bodyguard type. She's there to protect Princess Zelda from evil. She's usually also providing advice and such for Link, who is trying to save the world, again, as per usual. Alright, so now we're starting to get a little bit of the orange definition, but it's still not dark enough. So we're going to continue going over that with a little bit more of the orange before I move on to the darker color. I have tried this before with like an orange lip liner, but like lip liners on my face, not on my lips, really tend to do something strange. I was just having a conversation today with a friend about how different makeup can affect people in very different ways. Like I don't use a lot of setting spray because many setting sprays for me will actually take my mascara off. Like it might keep my makeup looking better, but my mascara starts to run. It's something about, I guess, the liquid in it. My face and mascara, we don't always get along. We're always having fights about what I would like it to do and what it really feels like doing. It is still not the right shade because I need to go over it with the other shade in the Violet Voss palette. And if only I could find my color switch today, because it is hiding somewhere. So I'm going to go back into Sandals from the Flamingo palette. Alright, I'm liking how this is going. So next I'm going to go down to the bottom part and sort of do a similar thing. I sort of just marked out with the white the smaller triangles because I can't do them with the precision with a big fat pencil like that. But I also know that this is easy for me to take off with the right makeup remover, and I, again, do not want to use a makeup product that's going to give me trouble later. I want to be able to go to sleep in a timely fashion. It's kind of hard to carouse when Halloween's on a Wednesday. I'm going to take a little bit more from the Violet Voss and just sort of tone down that shade ever so slightly on this part of my face. Alright, so that's where we are right now. These are more little blobs as opposed to triangles. I am now going to go to a lip liner. I'm going to use the Kat Von D Misfit Crayon. This one I find, generally the one I was having the most problems with is actually an Urban Decay liner in terms of staining. I'm putting this on top of this eyeshadow, so I shouldn't have that problem either. This pencil is being so annoying today. It does not want to go on. It's a little not quite what I was hoping for. It got a little messed up due to the trying to use this eyeliner. However, I'm not in the mood to start over. I do still need to go out tonight. So, I'm going to move on to the eyeliner portion. I'm going to use the Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper, and I'm also going to be using the Kat Von D Basket Case Anti-Precision Eyeliner. So one eye is pretty boring. It's just got a cat eye, so I just have to do the cat eye correctly. Let's put it this way. Are my cat eyes perfect? No. Are they improved? Definitely. The basket case is actually a little too thick for what I'm trying to accomplish, so I'm going to move to my Urban Decay Perversion liner. This one's okay, it's just not my favorite. I don't get nearly as deep of a black as I'm looking for, so I will use it to do some precision stuff, but this is not my favorite eyeliner on a regular basis. And this liner comes down to a little bit of a point. So now I've got my point, and now I'm just going to sort of work on the other side. The other side has a curl that goes up and is much fancier. That one's probably not going to be quite as pretty, but I'm going to do my best. Going back in with the Urban Decay, just to sort of fix my lines. Are my wings even? No. Are they okay? Yeah, they're fine. Let's put it this way, I've done a way worse job, so I'm not too mad about it. It'll be fine. So there is technically a curl here that's supposed to be in red. I'm going to do that with this liner because I think that is actually going to work, the lip liner from Kat Von D, because it doesn't have to be as super precise as some of the other work I was doing. And then I'm going to go back and do some touch-ups with the eyeshadow in order to correct anything I've screwed up. So now I've got that curl on. It's on top of the orange eyeshadow, but I like the way that orange eyeshadow looks. So now I'm going to take some more of the shadow and I'm going to blend that a bit. Alright, so my liner actually just needed to get warmed up a little bit in order to not get chunky on me. So now I am actually going to go back in and add a little more definition. Alright, so I'm feeling pretty good about the eye makeup. It's not perfect, but eye makeup rarely ever is. But this is perfectly fine for what I'm doing, which is going out for the night. I feel good about this. I'm just going to add some lipstick. So normally the matte lipstick is what's appropriate for this costume, but it's Halloween and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm actually going to use the glitter lipstick. I'm going to use, I think, a little bit of both. I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Everlasting Glimmerveil in the shade Rocker and a little bit of Supersonic, which is a limited edition shade. I'm worried that they're going to discontinue these. These are some of my favorite lip products because they're on sale right now, but here's hoping that's not actually true. So I'm just going to add this. It's definitely reading a lot more orange than the actual face makeup is reading, so I'm going to cover, instead of using Supersonic, I'm going to use the shade Dazzle, which is a red instead. It's kind of funny that Razzle is actually my least favorite of all of the Glimmerveils. I think it's the most boring. It doesn't show up quite as, you know, fancy, but I think it looks pretty good for this particular coloring that I'm going for tonight, since I'm wearing a lot of red, which is not a shadow color I generally use. So at this point, I feel pretty good about this look. I'm pretty excited with how it turned out, and I'm ready to go out. I'm going to do a little bit to my hair, but nothing particularly exciting, so you don't need to watch that. It's mostly just a little bit of a braid. I'm not wearing a wig today. Nobody needs to do that today. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful Halloween, that you get to dress up exactly the way you want, and that your makeup turns out as flawless as you want it to be. And I hope everyone has a great night, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!